back to another edition of the Tidwell Taste Tour. This is another one of the tutorials, so to speak, the how to make and how to prepare certain things. The only ones I've done thus far were how to prepare and how to serve Turkish tea. This one is a much more alcoholic variety. This is the Brazilian national drink, the Caipirinha. Basically, it consists of just a few parts. It's a pretty simple drink to make, but hopefully this will inform you how to make it the easy way. I'm following the International Bartenders Association's, the IBA, exact recipe. They're basically the foremost bartender association in the world, and standardized recipes so that anybody who follows the IBA, or anybody who wants to look up how to make certain drinks, can follow the IBA standard, and that's what a drink should taste like, so to speak. So, basically, the items that it consists of are crushed ice, pretty simple, cachaça. Cachaça is a Brazilian sugarcane liquor. It's very similar to rum. It's basically the national liquor of Brazil, as the Caipirinha is the national drink of Brazil. The description back here reads, cachaça is the typical spirit of Brazil, made from the fermentation and distillation of sugarcane juice. It was first produced in the 1530s, just a few decades after the country's discovery. Cachaça 51 is the most traditional brand from Brazil, the market leader for many decades and also one of the world's best-selling spirit brands. We invite you to enjoy the unique fragrance and flavor of Cachaça 51. Either straight, in Caipirinha, or a variety of fruit cocktails, Cachaça 51 brings you this cool spirit of Brazil. Obviously that's what this is, Cachaça 51, so from Brazil there. So cachaça, crushed ice, lime. Basically you need to take a whole lime, cut it in half, and on one of the halves, cut it into quarters. So you have four, this equates to half of a lime, we have four quarters there of the lime. And the other key ingredient we need is sugar. The best sugar to use is some sort of cane sugar. This is a natural cane turbinado sugar called sugar in the raw, but any cane sugar, turbinado, is good to use. Basically how you make it is, you take the lime pieces, throw them into a tumbler glass. You take sugar. The IBA recipe calls for, with all this together, calls for the 4 squares, which is a half of a lime. It calls for 2 teaspoons or 1 tablespoon of sugar. So there's 1. And there's 2. Okay. So now, basically we muddle it. The best thing to use is a muddler. It's like a wooden, it's called a muddler. It's a wooden stick, essentially, with a fat end on the bottom here that you can really crush the stuff with. I use basically an ice cream scooper. It works either way. And all you're doing is essentially just crushing up the limes, or the lemons, making them into juice, as well as crushing up the sugar and kind of just mixing it all together. So while I do that, the great thing about Caipirinhas is they're one of these drinks that they're fairly simple to make, and once you learn how to make them and get them tasting right, it's a very addictive drink. I usually mess with usually the way that it's typically made is a little too weak for me, so I prefer a little bit more of the cachaça and a little bit less of the lime initially, but it's good either way. So pretty much this is all muddled up here. Okay, then you just fill this entire thing with ice. Just like so. Crushed ice is what it should be. Then you take the cachaça. The IBA recipe calls for exactly 1.5 ounces, or 1 shot worth, 50 milliliters. Pour it over top. Okay. Then you can do one of 2 things, or one of 3 things really. You can just drink it. You can stir it with a stirrer, like so. Doesn't matter if a little bit of the ice falls out there. And the stir is a good method. Or the other method you can also use, obviously, is just take a cup, just do one of these. Either way, what you've got there is a IBA certified Caipirinha. So cheers to that.